All right, guys, this is going to be a view of the sanctuary. This is currently looking outside at the portico entrance. So on your plans, that's looking over at the Great Hall entrance. This is the portico. So stepping inside here, this tile floor is going to remain, but we'll want to paint, you know, all these walls, any ceiling elements that are painted. We'll want to paint that railing, but leave the wood top cap unpainted. Any of this storefront is going to remain not painted. And I'm just going to walk you guys into the sanctuary and give you a quick tour of that. This is typical, you know, these stairs have railings. All these railings are going to want to be painted as well. Like I said before, any of this, you know, base molding or any of that nature is going to be painted. These, you know, window cutouts, any of these residential type windows that have this trim is going to want to be painted as well. All right, so let's walk in the sanctuary. All right, so stepping in the sanctuary, this is where we're doing a, you know, again, just an interior refresh. So the difference here, this wood base, I believe it's called in the drawings, is existing base to remain. It's wood, so anything wood does not need to be painted. But we'll be replacing all this flooring, painting the ceilings, painting these columns. These pews will all get reupholstered. Like I said, any of this wood trim just stays as is. Walk you down here. This slate tile that's underneath the pews is just going to remain as is. And I'll do a separate video for the upholstery guys looking at these pews. There's some acoustical panels that are on the face of this overhang. They're going to need to get recovered along with. I'll walk up top, but there's some acoustical panels up there that need to get recovered as well. Stepping down here to the stage is going to be extended out a few feet and the stairs kind of reworked. So we'll want new metal stud framing for this stage. We'll also want to refinish this stage. They had it refinished somewhat recently, but to have everything match up, we're going to have the new wood, you know, finished along with the existing stage so it all matches together. These front of the stage shows this trim. Their new look they're going back with is not going to include trim. It'll just be a flat piece of wood. These stairs right here are going to get moved. It'll be new stairs, but they're going to get moved over here and flipped around facing the other direction. The other funky scope of work is going to be this pew right here is going to get demoed and removed. And this modesty panel up front here is actually going to get shifted back to the location of this pew. Part of that is if you see where the slate tile flooring is at this location, we're going to have to demo this slate tile back to around here and then continue the carpet to kind of match where your modesty panel moves back. And that'll match a similar configuration that they have over here. So this condition over here is the same exact condition that's going to happen over on this side. Just like that. The ACT at the high ceilings, or at, I guess, both ceilings right there and right there, that's going to be replaced with black ceiling tile. To be determined if we just paint the grid or if we're going to replace with a black grid. You can see some scrim cloth right there that's going to get replaced to match their new color scheme. And I'm going to walk up top for y'all real quick. These Roman shades right here are going to get the front, I guess, sunscreen replaced. The blackout cloth behind it can stay. I'll do a separate video on that. All these stair railings are going to need to be painted, and that wood top cap's going to remain. There's a quick look at the acoustical panels on the face of that. Continuing on up the stairs. This is where, you know, looking up under here, all that metal right here is going to need to be painted. The wood stays. This railing continues all the way back. These are those Roman shades I was talking about. Up here, we're going to replace the carpet flooring, but this slate tile again is to remain. This is a typical acoustical panel that you're going to have up here. I'll let the acoustical panel guys be the expert on this. There's some trim that holds them in place. So I don't know if you can remove them without messing with that trim, or if that's something we need to mess with. You know, you got additional acoustical panels, all that good stuff. Just gonna walk the perimeter for you. Yeah, there's some stair railings right here that are gonna need to be painted, as well as that small little, you know, block at the end, fall protection deal. Something I found out during our site walk yesterday is these receptacles, maybe not that one, but any, you know, typical receptacles like this are gonna need to be switched out to match the new color scheme. And we're painting anything paint, right? So anything wood is gonna stay, anything painted gets painted. As far as flooring, anything that's not tile gets replaced. And I'm just gonna walk down here and give you a view of this little fall protection railing that's gonna get painted as well, not the wood top cap. And all these pews get reupholstered, and just gonna give you a quick pan of the sanctuary so you're understanding what we're working with. All right, and I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions for the sanctuary. All right, guys, I just came inside the Great Hall entrance, which is out there. You got a set of double doors right here to come through. This is looking over at the Café on your left, and the sanctuary over to your right. This is the Great Hall. Stepping in here, the scope of work is going to be, again, just interior refresh. We're switching out carpet. We got 26-foot tall ceilings, probably except where it bumps up another, you know, 3 or 4 feet at the top. As far as scope of work, we're replacing all the flooring. We're doing a fresh coat of paint on anything painted. So that means any trim, any, you know, door frames that are painted, any, you know, stair railings. I think there's more of those over in the sanctuary. The other scope is wherever you see these high ceilings, we're going to replace those ceiling tiles with black ceiling tiles, and I'll have to get a spec on those for you guys. Other than that, I'm just going to walk around to give you a general, you know, feel of what this room is like. Let's see, over here, you know, this is some solid surface, so I wouldn't include that, but like these poles I would include painting, probably, you know, these poles as well. Just include some money for painting them. We can figure out the logistics later. And I'll meet y'all at the next room. All right, guys, this is on the 3rd floor outside of the sanctuary. Up top, this is the portico entrance down below. Just give you a view of all the, anything painted in the ceiling needs to be painted. This is the top of that staircase that needs stair metals painted. Carpet's gonna be replaced. I'm not gonna walk down here, but it's pretty much just end of that corridor gets touched, along with, you know, anything painted, all that window, good stuff. And I'm just gonna walk it for you. All the way down this corridor is gonna get painted. You know, I'm not gonna walk it for you. It's typical walls and base and all that good stuff. Coming down this corridor, this signage will get removed. Signage is gonna be handled by the church. Something like this, right? Any window frames like that are gonna need to be painted. Any door frames that are painted, stained wood doors don't get touched. All new flooring in these areas. We're not touching any of the ACT in these areas. Flooring is going to get replaced up to the top entrance up there, so the stair metals in this area will also need to be painted. Same goes for this side. Typical stair metals. Here's another, you know, window that'll need painted. Same goes for that. All this carpet gets replaced down to the end of this corridor, and I think to the right a little bit. Again, anything painted gets painted. Same for all this flooring. You have some railings up top here that are gonna get painted. This is the Café stair. So if you're looking at your plans, this is kind of the funky shaped stair over near the Café. Let's see, all of this all gets new flooring. Walk-off mats by the church. Just giving you guys an overall feel of what we're working with. All right, so this is looking at the Café. On the outside and inside of this curved wall, this is a Traffic Patterns Seal wall protection that we're gonna need to demo guy remove and replace, whether that goes in the painting scope or whether that goes in miscellaneous scope, you know, to be determined. But it's on the outside and the inside of this curved wall. It's not on any of these tall walls, but if you step over here, this low wall near the banquettes has the same traffic patterns. It looks like a wallpaper, but it's actually a wall protection by Seal. This countertop right here is going to need to be replaced. Actually, all countertops in this Café area are going to need to be replaced with the SS1 that's specified on the drawings. This back wall right here is going to get new subway tile. This countertop gets replaced, and if you read the specification, these actually go to concealed racks brackets. There's also some of this traffic patterns wall protection going on this low wall as well as the other side of this one. This countertop gets replaced. This countertop over here gets replaced. There's no wall protection right here, but we'll want to include that. This countertop over here, and I believe that's it for the counters. And I think I've showed all the areas of wall protection. And anything painted gets repainted. I'll hop to the next section for you. All right, guys, so this is the downstairs on the bottom level. You can reference it on the plans. We just came out of the stairwell near the sanctuary. This is a little kind of funky half circle countertop that'll give you reference. I don't think we're touching anything in here. I think our work starts like right here. So if you look at this sign, we're going down to the music suites, the choir room, and the orchestra room. So I'm just gonna walk this hallway for you. And if I get real slick Rick on the video, I'll post a little path that I walked so y'all know what we're looking at. All right, this is gonna be the choir rehearsal room. Looking in here, all this flooring comes out and gets new flooring. These are the choir chairs. There are 225 of them that are gonna get reupholstered. Any of these wood elements are not getting painted, but I think we're getting new base. New LVT in this room, if I'm not mistaken. We're actually not gonna paint this ceiling. I talked to them about that yesterday, and although it's dry fall, we're just gonna leave that and don't touch it. There's gonna be new nosings that go on these treads. I'm waiting for a spec from the architect on that one. Let's see, walking over here, I think this is like a studio that might get some new finishes, but we can figure that out later. Let's see, and this is the choir room, guys. I'm gonna stop this video till I find where the other rooms are. All right, guys, we just came out of the choir room. We're kind of stepping down this corridor and stepping into the orchestra room in here. This is another one that gets, new finishes, new paint, new flooring, and there's actually an alternate to recover these acoustical panels. They look about, 5 foot tall by 5 foot wide to err on the side of caution. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And on this wall, we got 7, 8, 9, if you count back behind these cabinets. And then call it, 10 or 11 over here if you wanna add these in, if you can't make it on site to see for yourself. So that is for the orchestra room. And next I'm gonna show you the music suites. And besides that, it's pretty much all typical corridor finishes, new base, new flooring, and new coat of paint. So see y'all in a minute. All right, this is looking down the corridor. This is the orchestra room. Just came out of the orchestra room. We're gonna pop down this hallway. And just glance to the right where we're replacing finishes. This is the music center. I'm gonna step through these double doors. If you see, there's rubber base that I believe gets replaced. We're not touching any of these individual music rooms. We are just replacing carpet right up to the threshold. There's some of them that have tile and some of them that have carpet, but that's what we'll be doing. Stepping down here, any of these storefront elements that are not painted are also, not going to be painted. This is a storefront door, so that doesn't need to be painted. But stepping in here, this is where it's not shown on the drawings, but these countertops are going to need to be replaced with SS1 countertops. Also, these base cabinets are going to need to be painted. So new painted base cabinets underneath there will need to be painted. Any of this, molding stuff will need to be painted. All this wallpaper is going to get torn off and removed and replaced. Whether that goes in the demo sub or whether a painter tells me that he would rather handle it, or we need to get drywall involved to, put some mud on it to smooth it out. That'll be just a coordination discussion later on. So this entire corridor has this wallpaper in it. That'll need to come down, get replaced. And that's the other end of this corridor. All these rooms that get new carpet are pretty typical offices. And besides that, that's pretty much it. That's all the funky things on this one. Like I said, all the corridor finishes are about the same. If you got any questions, we'll go from there. All right, guys, we are standing in the choir loft. This is on the back part of the stage. If you look out here, this is the main part of the sanctuary, and an alternate that we're going to price, or actually go ahead and include in base price, is replacing this green tile with, I'll get you a material selection, but whatever LVT we are pricing for the choir room downstairs, it'll be the same thing up here. And so we, at least if we end up changing selections, we have a price to work within. The stair nosing I mentioned, we'll get you a specification for that. That'll be a high visibility stair nosing. It'll be the same on these risers. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 risers, and then a bottom right there. A couple of stairs. This detail right here. And then you have a little landing right here, but we'll just continue with that LVT. I'll call you back. Bye. All right, I caught the tail end of it, but this is your Roman shades, kind of getting hiked up. Let's see if I can look up in here for you. Okay. All right, hope that helps. All right, this is a supplemental video in the sanctuary. The issue here is, I think I mentioned it earlier on the video, where we're demoing this pew and moving this modesty panel back. So we're gonna have to, cut the slate tile right here, and this will all be carpet. This will continue to be slate. The issue is when we put new carpet down at these other pews, how does Mr. Carpet Man put his stuff around these? So I'll probably get an ad price to remove this pew and remove this modesty panel so the carpet guy can come in and do his work. As far as how these pews are attached, there's just a little, looks like a little concealed bracket right there. These guys look like they're actually bolted down with little L brackets. So there would be one long modesty panel, one pew. Over here it would be one modesty panel and 2 pews in the center row. Over on this side there would be one modesty panel and 1 pew. Again, trying to get a view is a little bit better. It's not as dark of kind of your concealed, because other than that I don't see any way that it's really attached. Again, this front one is attached with these little L brackets. That could help facilitate the new carpet. And in terms of, you know, pew construction, I'm going to walk back over here. Each of these pews has a bunch of individual seats on it that are Velcroed down. So I've pulled this one up. You can see where the Velcro attaches. You got some Velcro stapled down, and then your seat just sits right back down like that. Other than that, I'm going to do a quick video of a choir chair and we'll go from there.